Willam, Sharon Needles, you're safe.
Okay, hear me out. This right here is the single greatest moment in any episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. Period. No hyperbole. If after watching this video you can find me a single better moment on RuPaul's Drag Race, or any reality TV show for that matter, that is better than this one, I challenge you to come let me know in the comments section below, and I'll be sure to check them out. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so why is this moment so baller? First, some context. RuPaul's Drag Race is a simple enough reality TV show. A bunch of dudes dress up as women and compete in a variety of challenges, all for the chance to be given a big ol' shiny crown and
a cash prize of $100,000.
It's basically a variety show that involves categories such as acting, dancing, comedy, and fashion and costume design. Now, non-fans of the show are probably asking one question. What's the appeal, though? Why would I want to watch a bunch of guys dressing up like women? What's the appeal in that? If the show's appeal is in variety acts, then why wouldn't I just watch America's Got Talent or something similar to that? Well, here's the thing, dear viewer. While some fans of the show do watch it for the fashion and the humor and the dancing and whatnot, we mostly watch it, whether knowingly or not, for the characters. And that's what makes RuPaul's Drag Race different than other TV shows. You see, Drag Race is very interested in the notion of authenticity, or as the show puts it,
Realness.
Realness. Realness.
Realness.
Over the course of any given season, the viewer gets a window into the stories that these queens have had to go through as members of the LGBT community. Most of their stories come from really dark places. You don't need a PhD in history to know that LGBT folk haven't historically been treated very nicely, to say the least. So when you hear about stories like those coming from Nina West, who was rampantly bullied by underground hate groups when running for student office in college, or when you hear stories of gay people who are ostracized, essentially thrown to the curb by their family just for being gay, when you hear these stories, it gives you a glimpse into a reality that you as the viewer might not have understood prior, or that you might completely understand, unfortunately, and understand all too well, and thusly receiving some sort of catharsis from watching. But here's the thing. We live in a time where being hyper-aware of our own media consumption is pretty common for a good enough chunk of the average viewing audience. Even my old Aunt Betsy noticed that this episode of The Bachelor having the ex-boyfriend of one of the contestants showing up near the end might be just a little bit shady and staged. Even the comment section for this video clip are like, wait just a second, this looks like it might be fake. Yes, excellent work, internet detectives, you've done it again. But that's the beauty of RuPaul's Drag Race specifically. It was intentionally set up as a deconstructive parody of shows like America's Next Top Model, poking fun at the absurdity of the challenges as well as playing up its own sense of self-awareness. However, as much as I love Drag Race, it's at its worst when it tries to have it both ways, both deconstructing reality TV show tropes while also adhering to them. This might come as a shock for some, but Drag Race is kinda known for not always being the nicest to its contestants. Other queens have come out and said this already, so this statement isn't really anything new or controversial, but damn, it's even really obvious if you break down some of the shit that goes down on that show. The show creators deprive the cast of being able to see their family and friends, and then dangle a carrot in front of them to watch them bawl their eyes out. Being forced away from your friends and family is maybe defensible for the sake of keeping the show's outcome a secret, but you then can't act all high and mighty when you give something to the queens that you yourself took away from them. Ru also purposefully asks stabbing questions in order to instigate an emotional response. Like, I wonder if someone being told that they don't have a big personality on a show all about personality is going to be a dig. He was just trying to light a fire under her ass. No. Please don't actually tell me that you believe that shit. RuPaul wanted a reaction. RuPaul got a reaction. That is why RuPaul did what RuPaul did. It's no secret that the show goes out of its way to make sure that every seemingly touching or dramatic moment that happens on set gets captured by the cameras. But there's a disconnect between the idea of having an authentic moment and then having to hold back that same authentic moment so that you can preserve it for the cameras. Pearl in particular has been critical of this dissonance, calling out RuPaul's hypocrisy of demanding realness from the contestants while requiring that said realness to be presented before a camera at all times. To paraphrase, the first time that Pearl met RuPaul, she wanted to sincerely thank her for the opportunity to be on the show. RuPaul allegedly replied, "Nothing you say matters unless that camera is rolling." This moment apparently left Pearl a bit disillusioned by the entire show me the realness that RuPaul promotes on camera. RuPaul very much likes to play the role of uniter or drag psychiatrist. The amount of times where Ru will ask, "Where does your inspiration come from?" Or, "Where does your comedy, dancing, or fiery personality come from?" It's honestly kind of a meme at this point. Ru is fishing for the answers of, along the lines of my dead mother or my abusive past. If Ru doesn't get any of those answers, then the response usually follows the line of, "She's internalizing her pain," or "She isn't being real with us." It makes some moments on the show seem really forced and awkward, like this one.
Show it. Show it.
I will.
The tears, the bits that you may be ashamed of, do it here. This is your new home. I'm your new mommy. You'll always be my baby.
The best part is, this isn't even just my opinion. I can actually bring out some numbers that show that RuPaul's audience largely agrees with me. The 2 worst episodes that are ranked the lowest on IMDb are Season 10, Episode 11, Evil Twins, and Season 11, Episode 11, Bring Back My Queens. In these 2 episodes, 2 of the biggest problems that you can see are actually up on a channel by a YouTuber by the name of Ucky Lee. That's an interesting little name. Ucky Lee pretty much does a really, really good job summarizing the problems with these episodes, but I'll give you a synopsis of her synopsis. Essentially, what ends up happening in the Evil Twin episode is that the queens essentially have to confront their quote-unquote inner saboteurs. Essentially, these queens have to dig up their own personal trauma and present it in front of the judges on live television. This is kind of gross. It's not great. Some people have stuff that they don't want to talk about in public, and you have this awkward situation with Miss Cracker just desperately trying to talk about stuff. Sometimes people are just kind of okay with themselves. Also, sometimes people don't want to talk about the shit that makes them sad. Not everyone wants RuPaul to be their mama, and the low ranking of this episode kind of goes to show that. There's also the fact that Miss Cracker was eliminated, but that's for another day. Furthermore, you also take a look at Bring Back My Queens, which is an episode that largely focuses on the drama surrounding the Ariel Versace wig drama. Excuse me while I freaking vomit all over the place. This is just so useless and is so manufactured. Ariel Versace's a dingus, and she told a lie, and she gets caught in a lie, and that's basically it. And it's just pointless and useless. And just let me see the fashion and the cool people doing cool things, please. Thank you. I'm aware that in an attempt to appeal to a wider audience, RuPaul wants to play up the drama, because it's what the people want after all, right? Well, I'm here to tell you this. I know more people who've been put off by the needless drama caused by the puppeteering on the show than there are those who watch the show solely for the drama. Okay, so with all that out of the way, let's get to this clip. Who are the characters in question? On a very special episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 4, the contestants take part in what has now become a Drag Race tradition, the Snatch Game. The details of this moment aren't actually all that related to the game itself, so all you need to know is that Chad Michaels, Sharon Needles, and Willam, my spirit animal, all did very well during the challenge, whereas Milan and Kenya Michaels did rather poorly. As always, the judges then had some time to critique the queens for their runway looks and performances. Here's what they had to say about someone like Chad Michaels. The consistency in your version of Cher throughout the entire game was spot on. I was LOLing the whole time. Bruh, I really responded to this animal print. It looks really new. I especially like the yellow hair. I think I might get me some. Well, it's yours if you want it. I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm Cher, bitch. Pretty standard praise, right? Then came Willam's critique. Now here's what you have to understand about Willam. Willam has always been a little rough around the edges, needless to say, in terms of how she interacts with the other queens. She's overly sardonic, overly sarcastic, and instead of biting back when people like Fifi O'Hara decide to criticize her, she's just very cold and sharp in the darkest way possible. She's very meta. Willam is constantly around cameras because she is a professional actress. So as a result of this, she's aware of the high level of production and the level of faux realness that can go on in these types of productions. As a result, the interactions that Willam has in this season are absolutely astounding. So, Here are what the judges have to say about Willam as a result of her performance in the Snatch game.
You're Jessica Simpson, so funny, so perfectly empty, and you did it in a way that I think would make Jessica Simpson laugh.
If she could turn her TV on.
Let me tell you why I'm having a problem. I feel like I don't know you yet. I love the way you get on stage. I love the way you hold your character. Now I want to see what else there is.
I tend to think that emotions are for ugly people.
No, we do have them, but so can you.
So the critique here is that Willam comes off as flippant, and she responds with a nice, polite jab back, sort of as a warning shot. Half of the judges find this hilarious, including RuPaul, but 2 of the judges react with genuine displeasure at the comment. The judges later reinstate this idea that Willam isn't being open and sensitive enough, again with Ru stating that there is a lack of vulnerability to Willam. So now, with all of this preamble established, let's see the greatest moment in reality TV history in its entirety. Please roll the clip, James.
Willam, Sharon Needles, you're safe.
I've never really been friends with other drag queens. I've always been an actor. I'm getting to know these girls, and they're awesome. And it sucks to know that one of them is going to have to go home so I can win. So yeah, that's it. And I'm not acting. Swear to God.
This is legendary for so many reasons. It would be better served as a bloody poem. For a single moment, solely for those who were so desperate to seek the perceived authenticity of reality TV shows, Willam lets loose a touching moment of sincerity at the loss of her newly formed friends. And then, right as the moment is about to land, bang! It was all a ruse! Y'all got bamboozled! You can't spell ruse without Ru! Ha ha ha! You see, it is in this moment that Willam reminds the viewing audience at home that what they're seeing is in fact manufactured, and that the show's deconstruction of those manufactured aspects is its greatest strength and not a weakness. The show has always been layered with a sort of postmodern irony, constantly self-referential and metatextual, and fully embracing the absurdity of men dressing up as women in order to embrace an inner realness. It's ironic that by putting on a character, you can in a sense become a truer version of yourself. It's ironic. Now, Willam would later claim that she wasn't in fact acting, and that even though she can cry on demand, wink wink nudge nudge, she wasn't doing so at the time. She even swears that she wasn't acting. Yeah, Willam still wanted to win the bloody competition, so she wasn't going to be that oblique in her criticism of the phoniness of the show. With this single act of defiance, Willam proves that she can play to the cameras and gain some perceived vulnerability from the audience if she wants to. But she doesn't have to, and decides not to. She decides that her worth as a queen is not going to be defined by some fake notion of perceived authenticity. I know it seems like I've been really hard on Drag Race in this video. It should really be noted that neither me nor Willam dislike Drag Race. Regardless of the gripes that she and I may have with the show, I see it as an exemplary piece of media and an important landmark in LGBT entertainment. I'm sure that Willam would agree with me, though she'd also likely throw in a snide remark while doing so. In this moment, Willam is simply putting forward the idea that RuPaul's Drag Race is at its best when it deconstructs reality TV show tropes in a humorous and self-deprecating way, and it's at its weakest when it instead succumbs to those same tropes. And that's the overall message of this video. It's that Drag Race is at its worst during moments like this.
My mother left my sister and myself at a bus stop when I was 3.
Who's dad? Hey, Alyssa, this is Dad.
Oh my gosh, that's my dad.
Y'all already done seen. I walk through the door, I'm here to fight. Y'all know I'm tough, y'all know I go there. So if you bring it over here, you should have already been prepared that it was coming back.
Something I need to get over, but I've tried to turn positive the best I can.
And Drag Race is at its best during moments like these.
The Andrews. I think about you all the time, especially in the morning, at the bus stop.
Party.
My name is Adora Delano. I'm 23 years old, and I'm a fucking Libra. Not wearing any underwear.
Do you have a name for the head on top of your head?
Ornacia.
Ornacia, okay.
I don't want to imply that I don't want a sugar daddy. If anyone would like to be a sugar daddy for me,
I don't need to build from the ground up.
Right?
I admire Aquaria, but that is not a look I'm trying to steal.
I'm sensitive to the fact that you are a sensitive person because I'm like that.
Y'all told her on the internet it was funny. I blame y'all.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Ha! Ha!
I'm acting.
This is a show for talented people, not people that know how to buy shoes. You should not be here.
Your tone seems very pointed right now.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that like button, and if you want to see some more stuff that I'm coming out with, I upload twice a month, and you can gently caress that subscribe button, and you'll be notified anytime I'm bringing some stuff out. As per the usual, I'm going to be checking to see what the background for the next video is going to be, and this week's winner was... Oh. Okay, we're going to just download that, and just going to upload that. There we go. So as it turns out, you guys like the library the most, so we're going to stick to the library. We'll definitely change it if more people actually vote for which location they like the best, so we'll keep that in mind next time. Absolutely feel free to vote for which location you want to see me in next video. Okay, so yes, as always, I'm going to be recommending 2 YouTube channels at the end of this video, the first of which is going to be Big Joel. Big Joel is a fantastic video essayist who makes incredible video essays. I don't think I've ever been bored by a Big Joel video essay, and he breaks things down in a really interesting way and has a really unique voice on this platform, so definitely check him out. I think he's got like 100,000 subs, maybe a little bit more than that, so I want to see him grow even bigger. Another channel that I really think needs more promotion is it's sort of a combination of ASMR and drag, so I figured it would be great for this video, is a creator called River. River is fantastic at what he does. He is a very comical type character who does all kinds of funny stuff with ASMR while also implementing some drag stuff into it. So I figure if you like the first video that I ever made on this channel and like drag, then it is a match made in heaven. River is definitely for you. I put my favorite video of his in the description below, so you'll probably appreciate that if you like drag, ASMR, or both. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all next time.